Welcome back, everyone. My name is Julian, and I hope you guys are doing really well. Last time we explored about SQL and Mrs. Harper's story, we saw that Mrs. Harper used the where and select clause to filter her library catalog and find exactly what she needed. You might think her library management is going smoothly now, right? Well, not entirely. Mrs. Harper has now hit a new challenge. While her searching brings up the right books, the results that she's getting are not completely organized. She's getting unorganized data whenever she's trying to retrieve the data from the database. So they appear in the random order, making it hard for her to make sense of them. For example, she might want to see the books listed alphabetically by author or sorted by the publication year to identify older and newer books at a glance. But right now, there is no structure to her search results, and that is frustrating. It might be easy for lesser number of books, like you have 10 books or 20 books, but for data count, which is more than 1,000 or maybe a million, it is frustrating to have the data in an unorganized manner. So this is where order by clause comes in, a real lifesaver for anyone working with data. It is like Mrs. Harper's personal organizing assistant, helping her turn a messy list of books into a neatly arranged catalog. So today we will dive into the order by clause and see how it can bring clarity and structure to our data. Let's revisit Mrs. Harper's library to see this in action. So Mrs. Harper is browsing her digital library. She searches for all the fiction books, but the list that she gets looks chaotic. It looks unorganized. Authors are listed randomly, and there is no clear way to tell which books were published more recently. So she's looking for a way to list her books alphabetically by author. She's also looking for a way to prioritize the newer books by the publication year. And she's also looking for a method so that she can combine and organize by genre first, and then the author within each genre. So manually arranging this would take hours, but SQL can do it in seconds with the order by clause. For understanding order by in detail, let's first of all go through the syntax of how order by clause works. So for doing that, we will make use of the select statement first, followed by the columns that we want to select. Then we will make use of from, and then we will mention the name of the table. So I'm sure that we are familiar with this particular syntax. So we are selecting the columns from this particular table. So right now, this particular syntax will return us all the values with the column names from this table. But what if we want to have the ordered versions of this table? So right now we want to retrieve the data in a way that the retrieved data is organized. So now we will make use of order by after from books, and then we will mention the name of the column. So we want to order the retrieved values on the basis of this particular column, which is column name that we have specified. Okay, now let's try to see how we can perform the queries for data retrievals using order by. So first of all, let's try to print everything from this table using the statement select star from the table name books. Let's try to run it. Okay, so what Mrs. Harper is looking for is that she wants to have the book displayed in an alphabetical order by their authors. So right now we can see that we are having the authors printed in a random order, and so are their corresponding values. But if we will make use of order by after from books, so let's try to use order by. And if we will specify the name of the column, let's say author, it will sort this table on the basis of the author's value. Let's try to run it. Over here, we can see that the author values, they are sorted in an alphabetical order, F, G, H, I, J. So they are sorted in alphabetical order starting from top to bottom. And the corresponding values were also sorted. So we can see that the book's ID, they are not in the sequence in which they were entered. So they are not following the order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but rather they are following the order on the basis of author on which we have sorted the values. For understanding it much better, let's try to sort this particular table on the basis of years published. So we can see that we are having 19, 25, 49, 60, 51, 18, 13. So we can see that they are not in a sorted form. Like 60 is greater than 51 and 1960 is also greater than 1813. So let's try to order this particular table on the basis of years published. Let's try to comment this. So we will do select, we want to print the entire table from books, order by years published. So we have specified the column on the basis of which we want to sort the table. Let's try to run it. All right. So we can see that the years published now is in ascending order. 1813 is first. So 1813, which is the lowest value, is displayed first, and their corresponding values are also displayed first. In 1960, which is the highest value, it is printed at the very bottom, at the very last. So this particular table is now sorted on the basis of years published. Right, so from book ID, we can also specify that the current table is not in its original form. So we have sorted our data retrieval. So by getting the values on the basis of years published, we can make wise decisions on which books are the new books and which books are the older one. So inside the data retrieval, the topmost books would be the older books and the bottommost books would be the newer books. So one thing that we can learn here is that the default order for years published, it is in ascending order. So like smallest is appearing first and the highest is appearing at the bottom. So what if I want to have the latest books on the top and the older books at the bottom? So for doing that, we can make use of years published, right? And we can specify order that we want to follow. It should not be ascending, but it should be a descending order. So first for doing that, we will specify DESC, which is a short form for descending. Let's try to run it. Over here, we can see that 1960 and its corresponding values are now appearing on the top of our data retrieval, whereas 1813, which is the older values, they are appearing on the bottom of this data retrieval. So we can make use of order by for getting the values on the basis of a particular column. And we can also sort the values. We can either use a default version, which would be an ascending order, or either we can also specify it. So over here, we can see that if we are specifying ascending, it will show in ascending order. Otherwise, we can use descending. So if Mrs. Harper wants to focus on the most recent books, she needs to sort by years published, but in descending order. Okay, let's try to go to the default order. Select star from books. Let's run it. So this is the default table that was created. Okay, so yeah. So finally, Mrs. Harper also wants to organize the books by genre first, and then the alphabetical order by the author within each genre. So this will allow her to group books meaningfully while maintaining the order. So for doing that, what she can do is she can make a query for the select statement for fetching all the books and all the columns. And then she can use order by and specify the first column on the basis of which she wants to sort the values. So she wants to have the genre listed. And then she wants to have the author on the basis of those genres. All right. So let's try to run it. Over here, we can see that genre is given more priority. So it is sorted in alphabetical order. D, E, F, then R. So D, then F, then R. If any two entries have the same genre, so they are listed on the basis of the author. So we can see that we are having F, then H, then J for the same genre, fiction. So we can use multiple columns for ordering our databases. So the first column that we specify will be given more priority, and the other columns moving forward will be given the lesser priority. So this demonstrates the power of combining multiple columns in order by to achieve a customized arrangement. So let's try to summarize what Mrs. Harper has learned and what we have learned from her story. So we have learned that order by clause helps us organize query results by one or more columns. By default, the sorting order is in ascending order. You can also specify the descending order by using descending, by using the keyword DESC, which is a short form for descending. It is also possible for us to sort by multiple columns for complex arrangements. So for Mrs. Harper, the order by clause transforms a messy library catalog into a structural and professional display. So the order by clause is small, but a mighty tool in SQL. So whether you're a librarian like Mrs. Harper or a student who's trying to work around with databases, it is essential for organizing data into a readable format. So now it is your turn to practice. Think about how you can use order by to sort and organize data in your own projects. Happy coding, everyone.